Yeah. Oh, we're live.
And then we were live. Yeah, as usual, the best part of this show happened before we went live. Juan actually told me how much they're going to be doing over the next 2 years. He literally gave me every single one of the details. You guys can't have it. Sorry. For the record, that's not true. It's just true in my mind. Yeah, Juan, thanks for coming on this morning. Jimmy is packing up. He's actually moving from Japan to Canada. We're going to be in the same time zone for the first time ever. I keep yelling at him that he's got to, come down to Miami.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we've never met. Hey, like I've never been in the same room as Jimmy. Like, I know.
Really? You don't know him in real life?
No. And like, we're best friends. I mean, he's one of the best friends I've ever had in my entire life. Because we spend all this time together or whatever, right? But yeah, we've never been in the same room. Apparently, he's like really tall. It's like Jonah all over again, right? Like I met Jonah at the wax thing in NFT NYC, and it just was gobsmacked. Like I couldn't even talk to him. I was like, no, you're 9 feet tall. Like that's not no. Anyway, how are you doing this morning?
Good. I have to say that I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome.
Lots of things in my mind as always, and now adding to that, like I'm doing a move similar to what Jimmy is doing. Not such a big distance, but I'm also moving to a different place. So yeah, there are lots of things going on.
Well, and you guys have Lisa Chandler. Good morning. You guys have the in-person event, like in September, I want to say.
Yes, that will happen on September the 30th. Okay. We have this live event here in the Netherlands. In real life, being able to meet some people and really see each other, just like we met you in Florida a few months ago. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that event.
It was so good to meet you guys in person. And again, like haven't done that with Jimmy yet, but I was fanboying out hard when I met you and Jose, like because I still do. Like I think you guys walk on water. So I'm not gonna be able to come to this one, which is really driving me nuts. But like, is this something you guys are gonna do like annually?
Well, we hope so. Yes, we want to do this every year, and who knows, every more often at some point. I think that right now the market conditions are not ideal, so I think that mostly people from Europe will be joining. But who knows, in the future, I think it will be possible to have more people coming from all over the world. You're distracted. Oh, Lisa is distracting me there with the $1 billion.
Oh yeah, officially predicted Nifty will be $1 billion company. Hashtag not financial advice. And this is just me reading a comment, so you can't get through this as financial advice. But I mean, I wouldn't take the bet counter to that bet. Let's put it that way. No, I think it's funny too. We've been having this conversation at Uplift, right? Like obviously, Mojang had their cute little announcement, right? And right off the bat, I said, like, watch what they actually enforce, which is so far nothing, right? And actually have some inside information that NFT Worlds is like just going in a very bad direction, which is a little scary. Like they want to basically keep using a bunch of Microsoft stuff. Like that's going to be totally fine. When it was NFT The Worlds, they got targeted because what they did is they built a bunch of Web3 stuff into the actual Minecraft client, right? Which we've never done. But that's like, and they explicitly Mojang kind of mentions this, right? And they're just trying to figure out ways to do that. It's like it's either way, like it's not great. Like it's a huge mistake by Microsoft and Mojang because they're clearly not understanding the space. And they're it's funny too, like their justifications about digital scarcity, like their entire game is about digital scarcity, but they just want to run it, right? Yeah, which honestly, they're a private company, they can do whatever the fuck they want, right? So like I don't agree with it, but that's not up to me, right?
And but that's exactly what it is. And when you start building on top of somebody else's platform, that risk.
That's the risk, 100%, right? Exactly. And this is the thing: like, we're not going to get targeted. Like, I'm really certain of this, right? For enforcement or whatever, we're just like we don't actually, we haven't done any of the things they actually trotted out. But it's still a pretty negative environment for NFTs, right? So like, we're not going to move off Minecraft just yet, but we're going to start actively figuring out what's next. And that's why I was kind of bringing all this stuff up, just in case anyone kind of hadn't heard all of this stuff yet or whatever. Figured it makes sense to kind of throw that in there. But like the idea that I keep coming back to is iteration speed, right? Like we're doing all this stuff on Minecraft, and again, like they can change the rules to target us at any time too, right? I mean, this is clearly, not impossible. So we want to figure out what's next. And already it's so much cooler, right? And so, yeah, Lisa's talking about, they're going to copy Minecraft. There's tons of open source stuff that allows us to, like, voxel programs that allow us to bring almost everything that we're doing to an open source platform that we will own and no one can ever say shit about ever. I mean, that's a huge lift for us, right? It's a lot of work, but I mean, bear market's kind of the best time for that to happen. And then we can get into an iteration cycle that I hope starts to look a little bit more like Nefty, because you guys iterate like goddamn fucking like freight trains, right? And this is the thing, speed of iteration, and you're constantly getting feedback from your community, which is why, I mean, that's, I'm sort of like wrapping all this thing and the thing. Like, this is why I think, of any company that I've seen in the space, and there's bigger marketplaces than you right now, right? But just right now, like the way you guys iterate, I think you really do have a shot to be $1 billion company. And I'm excited that you guys like hang out with me. I hope you guys still hang out with me then.
We will absolutely.
I totally believe that you would, but it would be understandable if you didn't.
Yeah, for me, this is not only about, of course we all love money, and we're in this because we want to make money. But for me, in the end, what really matters is what kind of relationships are you building? What kind of people are you meeting? And I'm so grateful for all the amazing people I've met in this space since we started. And that has, for me, way more value than any amount of money that you can make, because money comes and money goes. Some days you will have lots of money, some days it will be kind of okay, some days you might be absolutely broke. But the relations that you make, that is what really matters. Who do you get to know? Which people enriches your life, and who can you help? For me, this is all about that.
Show over. We're done now. We're not. We have so much more to talk about. But no, I mean that really is true. Like the network that we're building now. I think. I started thinking in terms of and Island Boy. I want to get to your comment real quick because we fixed it yesterday. But the thing that I'm starting to think about now, like, because welcome to bear market, right? Probably gonna get worse before it gets better. Buckle up, right? Anybody that tells you it's just gonna go right back up now is fucking lying and wrong. Like that. Welcome to this, right? Been through one of these things already. It takes a long time, and it is the great filter. Many people still in this space are going to leave. Now, granted, NFTs is the weird thing we've never really seen before, right? So I think like the cycle time on NFTs is much shorter, right? So we really could see massive upswings in NFT sales and marketplaces in 6 months, right? That's totally possible. We don't know yet, right? And that would be really cool. Yes, please.
Yeah,
right? And we have to engineer it, right? But I like the idea that, so I started thinking about like what happens in 900 days, because 900 days is the next peak on Bitcoin, give or take, right? 100, whatever. But it's been fairly regular. And so that's 128 weeks. It's like, what are you going to do for 128 weeks? That's not an infinite amount of time, right? And really, like, the network that we've already built is so amazing. The network that we've established in a year.
Yes.
I mean, we can go out and we can figure out ways to make money, but I think we're going to be able to go out and build things that are even more important than that, right?
Absolutely. In the end, are you adding value to the ecosystem? If you're adding value and you make it over the bear market, you will do amazing once things start to go up again.
Heck yeah. Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
So funny story. My old partner at Blue Deck, because everybody left but me. It's just kind of me hanging out in the Discord, literally. The only one there. How are you doing? It's still going. We're it's still running or whatever, which is fun. Anyway, he sent me the URL for that from his GoDaddy to my GoDaddy, and I, being an idiot, didn't know that you had to accept it. Right, so we just kind of sat there in limbo for a minute, and then it went away. And somebody bought BlueDAC.io because they're cheeky bastards, and so we don't have it anymore. Now, the good thing is, like, that doesn't super duper matter. So I just tweeted out yesterday that, we bad gifter because he rocks, actually, because rebuilt the site or whatever. I bought bluedac.xyz, so that works now. But he also gave us a backup URL that you can find on the Twitter and the Discord. And it's always a good idea too. Like if anytime you can always ask me, but anytime there's anything going on, I do try and address it as quickly as possible in the announcement section, and the Twitter for BlueDAC, just so people kind of know what's up. Because again, like BlueDAC's not my priority right now. I'll tell you that right now. It's just not, right? We're gonna keep that thing kind of up and running. We're just gonna keep it on life support, keep it moving forward. There's awesome pools for Blue Nefty, for Nefty Lithium. We're doing lots of really cool things over there. There's like on 90-day arcs, whatever, right? So we're just gonna like buckle down. The people that are stacking now are going to be really excited they did, and again in 128 weeks. That's like I think that's the arc we're on now, right? I mean, like for people that want to. Well, I remember too, like, sorry for ranting so much, Juan. We got to get you talking more because, like, whatever. But it's so stark. Like, that first 2016, 2017, 2018 thing, like, I was an idiot. Like, I went from $200 to 30,000, which for me as a musician was like, what? That, huh? Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? And I went right back down to 1,000 from 30,000, which, hold on, let me check my math. Fucking sucked. Right? And then, from that 1,000, like, I ended up volunteering all year for different projects, right? Like for the whole crypto winter, I was volunteering for Chirp. I was volunteering for this. I was volunteering for that. I started shows. I met Jimmy. I met everybody else. Now we're here, right? So like that, and I just refuse to quit, right? Way too many people will just give up and then go back to their job and get really uppity about it and miss the boat on, what is a really amazing transformative space.
Yes, absolutely, and I think that's what matters. You have to keep on being part of the space. Try to keep on educating yourself, keep on learning, keep on growing your network. Yeah, that's what matters.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Well, wisdom bestowed, and that's not to say that it's easy. It's not, right? It's like there's all of the emotions. The whole, and it's especially now with the projects that we run. I mean, I know you feel it. Like it's not a foregone conclusion that this will all just work out, right? So we show up in the morning trying to figure out, okay, well, this is what our runway is, right? And we started from scratch on Uplift right at the beginning of the bear market, which is fun.
Yeah.
Right, but like and so now we're having to make big changes, and then of course the whole Mojang thing or whatever. And I know you guys go through something similar, although like you guys are crushing it, which is awesome. But we still have to figure that stuff out. Like it's not a thing that's just going to happen. And I don't know, not to wax too philosophical, but I really hate despair the idea of letting people down. It's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all, and sometimes you just have to do it. It's it's part of running a business, and you have to make some decisions that are not what you would like, but you need to make sure that you can keep your business afloat, and that you can keep on building, and that you will be there over time.
Yep, that's all the marbles, right? And it's like, I don't know if like for anybody that's noticed, the DAO stuff for Uplift is on fire. Like I went away for those 2 days to my little meditation retreat, and came back, and there's like 14 different DAO proposals, ideas around revenue, innovation. So Lisa Chandler said desperation drives innovation by good teams. Like heck yes, right? And it's really team now for us. Like there's still the core team or whatever, but the community is so involved. Like that, like the way that Tuttle designed the DAO is just like it really is capturing that energy in a bottle. Honestly, the way that you guys kind of always have been good at, right? You're constantly reaching out for feedback to your community.
Yes, but I think that having a DAO gives some kind of structure to that, and that's important. I think it's very important.
Yeah, it's been good to the point where I actually spent a day whipping up a proposal for World DAOs, where we launch a DAO and DAO token for every single one of the maps, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But people like the community's been kind of red teaming it and bringing up some cool things I didn't think of, and doing amazing shit like that. So as far as like that innovation thing, I think I know what the biggest innovation that you guys have put out is recently, but what would you say it is?
I don't know. There's people who say that the biggest innovation that we've put out recently is the marketplace, the embeddable marketplace. I don't know if you have seen it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. I haven't seen it yet, but like everybody's talking about it.
What are you waiting to implement it? It takes literally 5 minutes to get your marketplace up and running in your website with all your look and feel. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be stark raving mad not to do that. Like we're doing it at Uplift. I think it's only like it's in the sort of dev pipeline or whatever. But we want to rock and roll on that for sure. Deej already did, like, I don't know if you're seeing Deej in the comments here. What's up, man?
Oh yes, he's here.
Yep, embedded marketplace is amazing. Took us 5 minutes. So OAD is talking about it's VIRL. Tell me more about that. What's going on with the VIRL stuff?
Well, right now we have. I don't know if he refers to what we are doing with VIRL or something different. But right now, for example, for the event that we have in September, we already do it with VIRL. Well, I will only say the IRL because VIRL is from Wax. I don't know if that's a trademark or so, whatever. But in the end, it's redeemables for in real life. So what we have for the conference is that you can buy your ticket as an NFT. And if you go to Nifty Blocks and you redeem it, we give you a code. We send you an email with a code, and with that code, you go to Eventbrite and you claim your real ticket for the conference. So that's also something that we have implemented, and that can be used for basically for any kind of web store that you want to release as a collection. It's something that we haven't opened to the public yet. We are doing some additional testing. We will be releasing, for example, there were some T-shirts and hoodies from the Nifty Quest, and that I think that will go live next week, where you can redeem real life items with through the NFTs. And I think that there's something that's very important there, because there's a lot of collections doing it with a manual process. But even though I think it's very cool that they are doing that, I think that they are totally missing the point on Web3 decentralization and so on. We are not to the decentralization level that we want yet, but at least that what we have is something that works via a smart contract. And even though we have 1 or 2 suppliers at the moment, you know that it will be redeemable. Even if the collection disappears, you will receive your in real life merch.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so just so that to see if I understand this properly, right? You've set up deals with and systems for the companies that are going to be sort of delivering the actual products, right?
Yes, so that, exactly.
If Nifty Blocks were to disappear, the smart contract would still work, right? You put the NFT in, it would still be redeemed from this company because they're going to get the order and they're going to ship it out.
Yes, and now we do it via APIs, and that is not fully decentralized yet, because if we disappear and the servers are gone, then we have a problem there. But what should happen in the future is that we onboard these providers so that they work directly with the smart contracts also, and when that happens, then it's fully decentralized, and we could even have more than one provider. And that makes sense, because then if one of those providers disappears, there will still be other providers that can deliver the orders. And I think that then we are really decentralized.
So Amazon used to just sell books.
Yeah, but it will go step by step.
No, this is the thing. They created a system to reduce all the friction between the ordering and the redemption, the delivering, right? So the only reason why I bring that up is like Nifty Blocks. Yeah, they let everybody sell NFTs, but this shit is where things get super weird. What you guys are building now, $1 billion step number 1, and then things get weirder. maybe.
Yeah, and but in the end, what really matters to me is that it has to be Web3. It has to be decentralized, and that's what we have to strive for, making things really decentralized. Otherwise, we are only doing Web2 with a different label, and that's not what we want. We really want to create something that that can outlive ourselves, that can really that people can really trust.
Yeah, no, I've been thinking about this too, because I mean we have to dramatically reduce server cost, to just sort of get into a mode that darkness rising. Applause, amen. Yeah, because I mean that I think about this stuff a lot too. About it sort of moving forward, and every time we have to sort of intersect with Web 2 systems, whether it be a bank or paying for Web 2 servers or whatever, like it. You sort of think about that, right? And one of the ways that we have the DAO that's going to be up and running, that I it's too early now, but I get more kind of excited and confident by the day that this is going to be a thing that is stood up more and more, understands itself and how to operate more and more, and is going to be around in 100 years. Which is a crazy thing, right?
Yes. That's really powerful. For me, that's extremely powerful. And I think that people who listens to me are going to get tired of me talking about open standards. That's why I think that whatever we do, not only on Wax, but on any blockchain, should be an open standard with a real governance process. Because otherwise, we cannot ensure that whatever we do will be here for the long term, that whatever we will be really...
beat this to death constantly. So when you say open standard, tell everybody what you mean.
When I mean open standard, I mean something that it's open source. I mean something that has a proper governance model where every interested party can say, I'm going to participate in this, I'm going to be part of this, and I'm going to invest. And if we want to define the future of this standard, we decided in a group of all the people who's really involved in this and who's interested in this. I'm going to give you an example from the programming world, from the software and IT world. The Java language. The Java language was the most widely used language for a long time. It was created by Sun Microsystems, but it was a true standard. It was an open standard. They opened it, and a lot of companies started investing in that language. There was IBM, there was Oracle, BEA Systems, a lot of companies investing in the standard, to some point that Sun Microsystems created the standard, but at some point IBM was investing 10 times more than Sun in that standard. Why? Because it was an open standard, and because every company was building products around that technology. And instead of making a small market, what they did, they made a huge market. The market grew and grew and grew, and that's the beauty of open standards. You can have competing companies working on the standard, and then they do things that add more value to the community, to gain more users. But they all together decide on the future of that standard. They define what is best, and they discuss it before any release related to the standard. After that, you are allowed and encouraged to build on top of that standard features that will amaze your users and that your competitors don't have. But if we don't have open standards, then it's very risky to invest invest in products and do more development.
Right, to uplift situation. Exactly. Now, granted, I still think it absolutely made sense to start the way we did on Minecraft or whatever. We've built an enormous amount of momentum. We've learned a lot. We've got an amazing sort of ecosystem already, right? And we didn't know what Mindtest was then, right? There's actually open source voxel platforms that allow you to start building the core functionalities of a metaverse like ours that is entirely open source, right? Which is, we're looking at a bunch of different options. But I mean, that to me, like, we're going to be able to port most of our systems over, but suddenly like the Microsoft EULA goes away. We own it and we could sell it, right? Like this open source license is like, the IP that you create, it's not exclusive, right? But you can, sell that stuff for whatever you want. And that, I think, it's just so much better now. And, we're having the debate internally, like, do we publish all of our code or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Yes, do it. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Ideas are bullshit. Execution is everything. Right. And so if we put this stuff out here, what's the actual active legacy down the road? Right. And we're going to have a community. We're going to be growing. We're going to be doing all these things or whatever. And like people have, over the last year and a half, like, oh, they're going to copy you. Right. Like, and, only one pisses me off, and it's because they made $100 million. But like that, the vast majority of people that copied what we were doing did nothing. Right. Because they,
yes.
just figuring out that you can attach regions to NFTs will not a metaverse make, right? You need a lot more than
yes.
that. But it's still like, I want to be in a competitive environment where everybody is iterating quickly, right? If the actual important thing is to be encouraging and enabling encoding our shared history in a metaverse structure that lasts for 1,000 years, right? I want all the worlds iterating, which is why I'm really excited about the World DAOs, right? I want our team's iterating a lot faster, which is why I'm really grateful for Mojang for kicking us all in the balls, right? It kicked us into gear, right? But at the same time, like, I want everyone else iterating too, and they're going to, right? So, and if we're all building on each other, then I think we have a chance to create something that looks like the internet instead of looking like iTunes, right? Because those are the two options, right? We either create enough network effect and whatever metaverse version of TCP IP is going to be so that it looks more like the internet, or it's just Meta owns everything, and that's fucking lame.
Yes, that's not the desirable outcome. But no, but still, if for example, someone like Meta comes and builds all of that, I'm pretty sure they will build a lot of open source tools and open source components that can be reused by other companies. So in the end, it's good that happens.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. The thing is, it's not like I mean, and now granted, like, there's a lot of things about the Facebook social media or whatever that are clear things that I'd like to see different, right? Like, I think all those platforms should be open source. I think the algorithms should be open source. It would do the universe a lot of good. And I think like owning your data is something. They're basically making almost as much money on our data as, they would make on oil. It's freaking bonkers, right? But these are all things that we wouldn't really be thinking about or knowing unless they had done so much to connect us all, like the network effect that they created. And, Instagram and even TikTok now, we've never had that network effect in humankind or human civilization ever. Like, that is like the kind of value add that, again, nobody in civilization has ever seen before, except for maybe the printing press.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that there's a lot of value that they bring. So yeah, it's okay. They have their evil side, but they also have a lot of positive things that come out of that.
Yep, well said, David Palmer. We need a true metaverse where all NFTs are shared across all projects. Yeah, I mean, like, and this is, I think we're coming to terms with this a lot all the time. At Uplift and on our team, the thing is, like, we want to make sure they all work, but it's going to be on each project or each sliver or neighborhood of the metaverse to make other people's NFTs work, right? But I think there's definitely over time going to be so much of a network effect bonus for doing that it'll just end up getting into the dev schedules and it'll work, right?
Yeah. But once again, here we come to standards. If we work on top of standards, then that can happen. Then you can say, okay, this is the standard. The NFT can move anywhere, and I will invest on building on top of this standard. Why? Because it is an open standard, and everybody can use it. So then, yes, if our NFTs follow an open standard, great.
Right? What's the simplest example of that we could do as an MVP? Do you think? Like, what would be the lowest hanging fruit that would be like almost like a seed crystal? Like, this is what an open standard NFT could look like.
Well, just go to Ethereum and think about the ERC 721, 721A, 1155. All of those are open standards because they are not owned by a private company. they are owned by the community. There's a governance process. If you want to introduce a new standard, there's a process to do it. And that's how I think it should work.
I like it.
Not somebody, just imagine that Wax said tomorrow, okay, on Wax, we will use this new standard. They have the power to do it. But I think it wouldn't be a very smart decision in the sense that it will be, again, a proprietary standard.
Yeah.
I think that all of us, and we already have a standard. The problem with the standard is that it's a proprietary standard and not an open standard. Maybe only introducing a proper governance layer on top of that and allow all the participants, according to their votes or staking or whatever, to make proposals and make improvements.
Just like run the chain as a DAO.
Proper process. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point there. Yeah.
Who do you think it's Ethereum that is doing that the best right now?
I would say that they are doing a very good job there. And,
like the example?
In the end, if you think about it, if you think about chains that are not owned by companies, I think that it's a Bitcoin and Ethereum. The rest, there's for the rest, or at least the ones that come to my mind, most of the chains are owned by a company or the risk
or started by one or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or they have a foundation, but they have a company. It's like, for example, I don't know if you're aware of the new marketplace that Wax released, and it's not to say anything bad, but they have if you go to viral.market, or I don't remember what's the name of the market, but there's a new marketplace.
Okay.
And it's absolutely fine from the point of view that Wax is a company and they release a marketplace. Great. But now try to think about this. Just think about Vitalik saying, okay, I'm going to create my own marketplace and release it here. Doesn't make sense because the blockchain is open. And I think that he's part of the Ethereum Foundation, and their job is to promote that other builders, other developers, other creators come to the chain and they develop. They create any kind of dApps on top of their blockchain. So if he's building and competing with the people he wants to build for his blockchain, he's sending the wrong message, in my opinion. And I think that is what happens when Wax releases a marketplace. But they can do it, of course, it's fine. But then they are competing with Atomic, they are competing with NFT blocks, they are competing with NFT Hive, they are competing with a lot of people who has invested to bring value to their chain. And I don't know if that's the most sensible thing to do.
Yeah, no,
which is absolutely fine, and they are allowed to do it. I don't fight with that. And right now, even if I keep on bashing, because I will always, I'm too honest to not to speak what I really think. But on the other hand, I'm extremely grateful with Wax, and I love them because blockchain brawlers will drop for the first time on Nifty blocks today. If you want to go check the drop, it's amazing. We will be able to pay.
Blockchain brawlers is dropping on Nifty?
Yes, and the people will be able to pay with the brawler token, and it's amazing because we are able to accept any token for drop. So we have been working with them in the last few days, and that will happen today. There will be a drop of blockchain brawlers on Nifty blocks. I'm extremely happy for that, and I love Wax for that.
Oh, yeah.
But there are things that they can do better anyway. But yeah, it's you get my point, right?
No, 100%. I mean that, like, and really, I think this is, that spirit in you, I think it's one of the biggest parts. I'm sure other people on your team share it, is why, like, cool, Nifty blocks is good today. I remember, like, when we first started using Nifty blocks, I was getting all excited about all these different tools or whatever. You came on the show, I was like, Nifty blocks fucking sucks. I'm like paraphrasing, but only slightly. Yeah, the UI sucks. The design sucks. And now you went back to the drawing board and you legitimately made it a whole hell of a lot better. But all of us back then were just so amazed at the feature levels that were there. Like, we weren't thinking about that. Like, yeah, sure, make it better. But you totally did. And, I think that part of, is part of every conversation, right? I do want to give Wilbur Jones a shout out. He's totally right. Like this is the OMA 3. Alien World is part of it. Animoca Brands, Decentraland, all these pretty big companies or whatever. Dapper Labs. trying to figure out how to do that. I'm going to be in constant contact with Alien Worlds. We're actually going to have an announcement, the Uplift with Alien Worlds, probably in about a month. But we've been pretty closely connected with Alien Worlds for a long time. So I'm going to keep my ear to the ground. If anything happens with OMA3 that any of you guys think that I should know about, let me know, right? I want to track it. Obviously, we're really busy just, kind of keeping things afloat or whatever. But it's a really, really good idea. And like it instantly goes to kind of the top of my radar because Alien Worlds is there, right? It's like, these other companies, like, cool, whatever. I don't know them, right? Like, well, Dapper Labs, I've seen a lot of their work or whatever. But yeah, the fact that the AW's in there is really good to hear. So thank you for that shout out. And again, what they're trying to do is create open standards for Metaverse. Which is cool.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. Trying to get that level of cooperation, you can really build greater things if you are working together with other people, instead of living in your own island thinking that you are the best. No, we are not the best.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm very proud, and I can say we are good, but we are not the best, and we can really benefit from ideas of other people always.
Right. Yep. Yeah. I mean this. I think the whole first half of this year has been awesome for my humility. Just get pounded into the dirt for 6 months straight. And, granted, like the beauty of it is like the looking at, it's funny, especially over this last weekend one. Like I've been trying to sort of sit with, because like it'd be easier to quit. Like it'd be way easier to just quit. And it never occurred to me to do that. Like not once, like as a joke once.
Yeah.
Right. I was telling, Austin, who came in to do like business coaching for the Uplift team and started doing that with me. We were joking around or whatever. And I was telling, like, there was one morning where I just wanted to become a fucking bike delivery boy or something, like just something that, like, I just don't want to be stressed out anymore. Right. And it was funny. Also, I need to get in shape. But the thing that I kept coming back to, and I don't think I can ever let it go, is thinking about the long term and making sure that it's the idea crystallizes for me with that Cathedral 1.0 in the first place. We put up gratitudes, but it's a hell of a lot more than that for a lot more people, right? But that's like the thing that I go back to. That's like a sacred place to me now, like for real. Like there's the memories that are there, and the fact that we chose to encode it all with gratitude, and it really was about coming together in community when we couldn't do it any other way, like that. It's a sacred place to me now. And I think as we go, in this our little version of the metaverse or whatever, yeah, you can play games, you do whatever, but you can put things up on the wall like that. Like it's like, this is like cave painting 6 trillion.0, right? But it is absolutely vital that we figure out the system that sees this alive in a way that we can remember and experience and stand in together in 1,000 years. Like that. Fuck the details, right? Like we'll figure those out. There's a million different ways to, run this cheaper while we need to run it cheaper, to grow the network, to do all whatever. Fine. And I think that's why I came back from this weekend one, like, just like, the challenges haven't changed, but I kind of did, because I got to reconnect with what was the important thing from right at the beginning.
Yeah. And there will always be situations that you cannot change. And the only thing that you can change is how you see those situations, how you react to those situations. And that, when you understand that, then it's extremely powerful, because you can do a lot more when you decide, okay, that's the situation, but what will I do? How will I tackle this? What are my options? And then you grow, then you come with beautiful solutions.
Yeah. But especially, and again, we kind of started talking about, the idea that we're growing this network, right? I was driving back from my little, I finally got out into the woods and just took a lot of time to breathe and not think and whatever. And I'm on my way back, and I really I had that thought, like this is the kernel, like this is the sort of the seed crystal from which all of my decisions will flow, right? And there's a lot of whatever, all the hard stuff, fine, right? But that's the thing. Gratitude is that thing in a place where you're writing on the wall, and really there's going to be, and this is part of the thought is there's going to be a lot of read-only metaverses, right? Like Netflix is like a read-only site. You there and it pushes information at you, right? And there's a lot of metaverses that are going to be really beautiful works of art where you can't do anything. Like you might be able to play a game, but you can't put a gratitude symbol up on a wall. You're not going to put a picture up. That place isn't yours, right?
Yeah.
And so there's going to be those read-only ones. Then there's going to be read-write, and we're in the read-write camp. Period. No matter what, no matter where we go, that is essential, right? So thinking about that. And I finally get, out to the point where my phone worked, and I picked Twitter up or Telegram, sorry. And Jen had put this proposal up. I started tearing up almost immediately, which I do sometimes. She had already put this DAO proposal up that they're going to make web-based, and Modded Outlaw from our community has already figured this out. They're going to make 3D things that you can walk into in a browser of the gratitude monuments and put it up on the website.
Cool.
Right? Like that's the first thing that I saw coming back out. I'm like, yeah, we're all gonna make it. We're good. Right? Like that, this is the thing. Right? And there's a lot of details, and we got to figure out how to, make money and extend our runway and fucking whatever. But that's the thing. You boil it all away, and we still get to do shit like that, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and now, while you were speaking, you said the keyword at least 3 times, if not more. And it's gratitude. And that's what I really love about the Uplift, that it's all about gratitude. I think that not many people realizes how powerful it is to be grateful, how powerful it is to say thank you for what I have, thank you for what I receive, thank you for the challenges, thank you for the blessings, thank you for everything. Being grateful, for me, it's so powerful, and you will see it very soon in a project that we're working on with Jose at the moment. It's all about gratitude, and it's
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that not many people realizes how
whatever you guys are doing,
being grateful.
Can I donate a personal piece of land to make a monument to whatever you guys are doing around gratitude?
Oh, that would be amazing. But yeah, I will share that with you.
For real. Like let's do it. Whatever we need to do. So this is actually, I don't know if you guys have ever been in here, but this is like the team gratitude tower. Every time we do a huddle, we do one of these screens. So we did this one yesterday. And while I am genuinely, and I mean this, I'm grateful that Mojang stepped in their own shit. I did kind of date stamp this one. Because artistic expression and all that. Anyway, now that we've been talking about gratitude,
now that I saw that that other tile there, I'm pretty sure that you will love our project. You'll fall in love with it almost immediately. When you see
of course I will. It's you guys. anything you guys are doing that includes the word gratitude, it's just like, that's quadruple the love, not double the love. Okay, so here we are. We can't talk about gratitude without coming in and doing the work. Again, like the whole idea that this thing is a giant living monument where every single one of these things is full of the gratitudes that of all the guests we've had on over the last year and a half, like, whew, that gets kind of heavy. So please, everybody in the comments, everyone, there's 11 people here. Write down something you're grateful for. Don't think about it. Don't think, this isn't cool. Fuck off. Just write something you're grateful for. Just sit with it. Just make it up. Doesn't matter. Juan, what are you grateful for right now?
What am I grateful for right now? I will say it in the order that it has to be said. I'm grateful for Corey, and I'm grateful for Chan.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Nice.
In that order.
Nice.
And it's in that order because if it's not because of you, I would have never met Chan. And I'm so grateful that I met Chan because she's
She's such a badass, right?
Yes.
That's so fun to hear. Yeah. Anyone that's willing to listen. So for anyone that doesn't know, Chan, I should just have her on the show just so that we can all kind of bow at her. Jimmy actually introduced us to Chan. She's running the New Moon Accelerator, the New Moon blockchain. It's going to be out, down the road a little bit, they're going to be iterating over the course of this crypto winter. We're going to be doing stuff with them, period. It's amazing. But she's one of, not only is she one of the best sort of connectors that I've ever met, I think she's the perfect person to be running an accelerator. She understands everything that we're going through, has done most of it, and just comes with the most authentic caring and empathy and desire to help that I've ever seen. Like, I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yes, absolutely. She's a beautiful person.
Yep. All right. I'm trying to spell not terribly. Grateful for my supportive wife, Wilbert Jones. Dude, I have to commiserate with you on that one. The only reason I got to do any of this is because my wife was like, yeah, take moonshots, whatever. You want to build some crazy shit? Go ahead. And I've never been with anyone before I met Michelle. I never met anyone that would think that taking this much of a risk, even just with my time, would be acceptable. And Michelle never blinked. She's freaking rock star. Innovation and mindfulness. Thanks, Tish. Boink. Indeed. Nice. I'm grateful for Sophon Surfer and Swineland Server. All right. Who's Sophon Surfer? I don't know who that is. All right. Thanks, guys. On Monday, speaking of specific servers, we're gonna have to figure out what to do with this as well. I think it's probably inevitable that we'd have to include it. It's an open question. On Monday, I'm going to be going over my proposal for World DAOs. Anybody that has DAO tokens, I would highly recommend getting in. You can go to the DAO discussion channel. It's one of the pin posts there. One of the things we do I open up, and I think most people are doing this now. I wrote down the basic kind of proposal idea that I ran past Tuttle, and she's like, "Yeah, no, we should be able to do this." Kind of from like just a resources situation. It's going to be a very small lift, so we're not going to take dev. Max Life, cool. We're not going to take dev resources from everything else because that's like the critical thing now, right? Like they're working on some pretty enormous shit or whatever. But yeah, I put it out as a Google Doc and tell everyone edit it, I've got a copy of it, so I'm going to be able to check to see if it's missing anything important or whatever. But go put comments on it, put open questions on it. What do we need to solve before this, gets put out there? And it's just a massive sort of net for that feedback that I think you guys are so famous for getting and reacting to, right? But Monday morning, I'm going to go over this thing. So basically, every single map, every world is going to get its own DAO token, and it's going to get its own DAO on the chain that it's on, right? So the Ethereum worlds will be on snapshot.org. The Wax ones are going to be on Wax DAO, I'm pretty sure. I think that's the most mature system for DAO stuff. And I'm going to have the Wax DAO guy back on here because he's fucking crushing it. Anybody can make pools. He's just rocking and rolling. Yeah. It's really well done. Anyway, so I think the same kind of iteration that we're seeing at sort of the universe DAO level for Uplift, I think we're going to start seeing for every single one of the worlds, right? Especially when the Minecraft EULA goes away and the number of things, because basically the jurisdiction for the world DAOs is going to be absolutely everything they want to do that doesn't negatively impact the whole, right? And so right now that would be you can't do anything that is not PG-13, right? Because we're staying on the right side of the Minecraft EULA, blah, 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 blah. When we go to open source, that isn't necessarily going to be true, right? Because you want casinos? I don't care. Who cares? It's not my jam. Casinos are just proof that people are bad at math, right? But we're suddenly open to a bunch of really different things. And I think that, and the good things, there's going to be some bad things, there's going to be some challenging things, but it increases, it ramps up that speed of iteration. And that's how we get the kind of evolution that gets us to moonshot level, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I didn't say what I was grateful yet. Kind of freaking weirdo is that? All right. I don't know if that's Dan from Immersis, but amen. Grateful for Gary V. Me too. Awesome sauce.
I think you skipped the Edge, who's grateful for innovation and mindfulness. No, it's already there. No, you didn't skip him.
Yeah, as Mogus asked what UDT market cap is, I think it's around $1 million right now. However, if you try to buy 1 million, 1% of the DAO tokens, it'll cost you $120,000. Right? So to actually grab that much, I think our actual valuation is probably between 5 and 10 million. But again, you can go buy some DAO tokens and make that up for yourselves. Yeah, I bought more just 2 days ago, just because people want to sell them for cheap while Mojang's making a dumb announcement. I'll fucking buy that shit. Speaking of which, I'm grateful for Mojang's ignorance. For real. We're going to look back on this as the time that, we got kicked out of the nest. Right. Yeah. And again, we can actually stay in the nest as long as we want, for real right now. We don't have to stress about leaving, which is great. Right. But we still need to do it. And that's where, all of our sort of dev resources and thinking is going to go. And it's bringing up that level of fire and creativity and sort of, homesteading spirit that I think sort of embodies a lot of the uplift anyway. All right. Brilliant. So you guys have that thing in September. I'm not going to be able to come to that, and I'm very sad about that. But it's going to be awesome. I'm going to see, actually, I think Gary, I don't know, Gary that's not even his real name. He's kind of like a hacker dude. So I don't know if he'd go and hang out with people in public, but he should. God damn it. Dennis is down in Cyprus. I bet Chan's probably going, isn't she?
Yeah. The Edge is joining.
What's that?
The Edge will be joining, yes.
Oh, D just going? No, I said Chan.
Yes. Chan might be joining, indeed. Chan might be joining. I haven't spoken to her in the last few days, but yeah, she might be joining, indeed.
That's cool. When's the next time? Do you guys have any plans to come back to the States anytime soon?
We don't have any plans at the moment. Yeah, I think that we missed on the NFT NYC. We should have been there, but we realized that too late, and now we have to find the right excuse to go there again.
Right.
But we'll be there again. No problem.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, shitcoin something. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Zmogus is asking what's the max / circulating supply for UDT. Maximum supply is 100 million. I think circulating supply right now is, I want to say like 75 to 80%. The goal is to have it all out by the end of this year, and we should hit that. So there might be a small 4 to 6% reserve in the DAO treasury after this year, but the vast majority of it will be out in the ecosystem by then, which is kind of fun. So yeah, Island Boys, grateful for dumb luck. I'll put that up on the wall here. Do you think there will be educational NFTs that assign small tasks to get experience in, say, MetaMask, for example? I don't know. I don't know sort of the sort of what the value proposition arc would be for doing that. I can say though that once we get off Minecraft, every single one of the commodities in Uplift or the allegories that we decide to move forward are going to be NFTs. And not only that, because I like that we're doing a lot of studying of mind test, right, which is like this open source voxel platform that is sort of analogous to the game style of Minecraft or whatever, right? So we should be able to move over there, but I don't think we're going to be able to connect all the servers together in the same way. At least not, quickly. So like shared inventory might be a thing that we can't do. And I'm actually really, really stoked about that, because shared inventory going away means that the only way to get, your 1,000 glass from, Gratitude over to Chicken Ka is to turn it into an NFT and take it over that way. Right. Which means that we're also opening up the entire thing to a giant marketplace, which is sexy as frick.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, Wilbur said I do know one project that's working on a learn to earn model. Hope it launches shortly. Yeah, definitely send that to me when it does. I think that'll be really cool. So, Juan, anything else you want to drop on us before? How many bombs? You want to drop some bombs?
Not many bombs. Just join the blockchain brawler drop tonight, because it's so nice to have them on NFT blocks. That please do
it up. All right, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I mean that's epic, man. Congrats on that. That's really cool.
Thank you.
All right, man. Juan, thank you so much for coming on this morning and just for being you in the space and being my friend. It's a big deal, and I'm really grateful for it.
Likewise, thank you, and I'm so happy to count you within my friends. It's very nice, and it's I'm very happy for that.
Woohoo! All right, rock and roll. Yeah. All right, guys, have a good one. Go tell someone that you love, not only that you're grateful for them, but tell them why, and do it today.